Alright you bastards, here is another build. This is a barehanded build for all difficulties. Before we start, I need to say that this build works amazing on any difficulty except Way of the Wise. For Way of the Wise, you're going to have to do a lot of maneuvering around like I'm doing at the moment with Tachibana Muneshige, and you're going to need to switch tools a lot because not everything works with everyone. Without your tools, your magic and your ninja skills, you're useless. You can't do anything relevant. This build, if you want to play Way of the Wise with it, is for those gamers that have a lot of patience and just want to test themselves with something different. Damage wise you're covered, but the defense is an issue, and that's why this build requires patience and is mostly for people who desperately want to try barehanded build, any kind of barehanded build on the highest difficulty level. Let's get on to the equipment and stats and everything else. Obviously won't be using any weapons. For the second slot use Atagi Sadamone, that way you will get a full set bonus from Kingo's armor. It's an important one because it gives you close combat damage, attack from behind and killing strike damage. That's really important here because attack from behind and killing strike are the attacks that we are using the most. For the ranged ones you can go for Raven Wing Rifle and Warrior of the West bow to get damage reduction bonus. It's not that great, doesn't matter, you don't have to go for that. You can go for whatever you want. As for the armor pieces, use Hino Zenma Kabuto to get more damage against paralyzed opponent, but the most important thing across all the armor pieces is that you need to have barehanded attack damage. You can get that by having gloves with barehanded attack damage that has that special effect inheritable. Only gloves can have barehanded attack damage, so you need to farm a lot of armor pieces until you get one with barehanded attack damage as an inheritable. Then you can soul match gloves with different type of armor and then they will inherit the barehanded attack damage. Just level the ones that have barehanded attack damage as inheritable to max familiarity before you get to soul matching, otherwise you can't transfer that special effect to another armor piece. As for the rest, I didn't even bother reforging anything else at the moment. I was just testing the build, so it can get a lot better actually, with a lot more survivability. But ultimately it doesn't matter. I played everything on Way of the Wise in this video with this setup. The same setup that you're looking at right now. For the accessories, try to get one that has status ailment augmentation paralysis. I haven't got any of those. If you have status ailment augmentation paralysis, use that, because that way you will increase paralysis buildup on your target. That means a lot, because usually on Way of the Wise you will have to do 2 paralysis traps at once to paralyze one opponent. As for the other one, get Yasakani's Magatama, obviously to get the set bonuses, and you can see my items. Just ignore the ground fire. Instead of ground fire there is a paralytic ground fire. That's the one that you need. As for the rest of them, you need all of them. All of these. Carnage, Quick Change, Weakness, Tiger Running and Sloth. These are my special effects. You can see barehanded attack damage plus 203%, which is a lot. Really a lot. How to get that? Additional to the barehanded special effects, you also need to be part of Fukushima clan. They will give you plus 70% barehanded attack damage. As for the Guardian Spirits, obviously go for Akomori for more damage from behind. I tested Enko as well with strong attack damage, but it doesn't work as well. The second one, go for Narikama Tanuki because of the strong attack damage, since we are using kick mostly from behind the target, and that's classified as a strong attack. So it's going to give you plus 6.5% more damage, which is nice, or more if you've leveled it further more. As for the core stats, this is how my sheet looks like. Strength is important because it will almost double the basic barehanded attack, which in the end will multiply by I don't know how much when everything else comes into account. So it's worth putting at least some points into strength. You don't have to go to 99, but I did, and it's paying off. I haven't tested what's the difference between, let's say, 50 and 99, but I would guess it's at least 30% difference. As for the rest, go for lots of points in dexterity and magic, because you're going to need powerful spells and powerful ninjutsu items. Spirit, as much as you need for Akomori and that second one that I'm using. The rest of the stats you can put in stamina to get B rating for equipment weight, and you can also put to body to get more survivability in higher difficulties with more HP. As for the skills, you can use a couple of the passives. From X you can use Fortitude to get more HP. Then you can use also Cornered Boar from X as well. That will reduce the damage you take when your HP drops to 30% or lower. From the Kusarigama tree you can use Armor Piercer, Shadow Strike and Full Moon Kata. Note please that every other point you need to put into Fatal Fists, which is the green one at the bottom. It needs to increase your barehanded attack as much as possible because you're only using a couple of passives, not many of them. That's why we need to focus on Fatal Fists. As for the Ninjutsu and Omnio Magic, I will list the skills that I have. From Ninja skill tree, get Paralytic Groundfire, it's a must. Tiger Running, Dashing, Cloud Runner, Quick Change, Dodging, Hands of Death, Medicine Man and Ninja Mastery. These are all a must. You can also add Resistance versus Paralysis versus Poison. That's all good if you have points remaining. Go for that as well. Composure, if you're good at it, definitely take as well. I suck at it, I cannot use it. I tried it multiple times when I was recording fights with this build and I couldn't do it no matter what I tried, even with Sloth. So only use it if you're good at it. It works fantastic against humans and it will do a lot of damage. Maybe you can one-shot humans on Battle of the Wise with that, who knows. I doubt it, but maybe you can. Very important here that you need to understand is the speed. You need to be much faster than your opponent. That means Cloud Runner, Dashing, Tiger Running are a must. We are going to use that to get behind an enemy as fast as possible and then initiate our attacks. As for the Omnio skill tree, these are the musts: Weakness, Slot, Carnage, Talisman of the Fist, Pure Mind, Evil Ward, Incantation Mastery. If you have points remaining, definitely go for Resistances versus Fire, Wind, Water and the rest of them. I've already included Pure Mind and Evil Ward because they are important. They reduce damage from yokai, and Pure Mind lets your ki survive more in yokai pools. Considering that we don't have any means of clearing yokai pools except Kekai Talisman, which I'm not using in this build, Pure Mind is definitely one that we should have. Let's start with the fighting bit. Everything that you see in this video has been recorded on Way of the Wise. That's why I had to adapt, and that's why I'm saying that you're going to need patience for Way of the Wise with this build. Simply because you can't do continuous attacks, because you can't block. Whenever you block, you'll get staggered, then you're done. They're going to get you out of ki in a second attack, if not at first, and then you're fucked completely. They will kill you in one shot. So the point here is, for example, in this fight versus Honda Tadakatsu, where he is immune completely to paralysis, I've decided to adapt and use Sloth to slow him down. And also I've decided to use Tiger Running Scroll so that I can run around him, since I'm that fast and he can't hit me no matter what he tried. It really makes fight easy, not fast, but easy. Most of the fights on Way of the Wise are not that fast anymore. You can't get them down as fast as before, mainly because they are more buffed, they can remove your buffs, and they have a lot more HP, plus they do a lot more damage. Way of the Wise is really a nasty difficulty, and that's why I decided to implement Sloth back in this build, because without it you're going to have a lot more trouble, which is not worth it. And as you can see, I've used the layout of the map to my advantage as well. Always use that if you can. That's how you're going to maximize your damage and avoid most of the damage done by the enemy. Same as in this fight. This guy is not immune to paralysis. On Ryoki in Greater Demon Hunting on Way of the Wise can be paralyzed. And he receives a lot of damage when I'm kicking him in his arse. Simple tactic, use Sloth, use Weakness on him, Carnage and Talisman of the Fist on yourself with Tiger running a quick change scroll. Without quick change scroll, don't even bother trying this build, because it's that more efficient to use it. Simply because versus human opponents like Tachibana Moneshige, quick change scroll becomes a great offensive tool. If you go from the air and you attack him while you're getting back to life from quick change scroll, you will push him to the ground, and he will stay on the ground enough for you to use Talisman of the Fist and Carnage again, and then kick him while he's down for a pretty awesome amount of damage. They tend to stay more on the floor when you hit them like that with bare hands, at least from my experience. Maybe I'm wrong with that. I haven't really counted seconds, but it seems to me that way anyway. And as you can see, I'm using all of this map that I can to my advantage. Since I cannot block, the only thing that I can do is avoid and try to get behind an enemy, while slowing my enemy as well, keeping weakness on him, and trying to use any kind of situation to my advantage. You need to be a cunning bastard for this build, to be perfectly honest, on Way of the Wise. For lower difficulties you don't have to worry, you'll do this without any problems on Way of the Demon, for example, but on Way of the Wise it's slightly different. And this is what I'm telling you that you need to adapt. You will see now in next couple of fights as well what I've tried to adapt. I've also used Purging Talisman versus Honda Tadakatsu when he gets that healing effect upon him. It's an insane healing effect on Way of the Wise. It heals 3000 HP per second. It's really hard to out DPS, especially with this build. So you can purge that with Purging Talisman so that you remove that regeneration. That's what I'm telling you about adapting. Well, this guy, Lina Omasa, he's a tough bastard, no matter what you do. But with this build you can definitely avoid most of the damage while dishing out your own. Versus him, the best thing that you can do is use Paralysis Trap to slow him down. Actually, first use Sloth, then put 2 Paralysis Traps, and then go behind and kick him in his arse. Also continue punching while he's slowed, because his attacks have a long wind-up time, which means you can get in a couple of quick strikes before he retaliates. And no matter who the opponent is, unless he's in some kind of a special move, if you punch him with a fist or kick him with the leg, they will stop mid-animation. Fists stagger a lot. That's the beautiful thing about using barehanded build. So keep punching him while you can, while he's slowed, and just continue using paralysis traps, tiger running and whatnot. You can use whatever tricks in the book that you've learned over the course of playing Nioh. You don't have to use this same exact build. I've just shown you how to maximize damage with bare hands. If you have a better way, please tell me. I'm really interested in what people can do with barehanded builds. And now for the last fight in this video, Hino Enma. She is completely immune to any kind of paralysis, same as Honda Tadakatsu. So what I've done here simple, I've slowed her down, and with slot she becomes easy. Just keep weakness and slot on her while doing normal attacks if you can get behind. It's very hard to kick her in her arse from behind because she tends to turn a lot. That's why I've used mostly fists in this particular instance, which is plenty of, since you can get in 2 punches before she even reacts with sloth on her, and you can do about 15k damage with 2 shots. But with leg strike you can do 15k almost immediately. I think it's up from 11 to 15k, something like that, if you kick her from behind, because you also get buffs from your second guardian spirit, that Tadanu, I don't give a fuck what the name is. Anyway, you get strong attack damage buff from him as well, which definitely adds more damage to the leg attack. So this is it, lads. This is the bloody barehanded build. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have nerves and patience to get this working on Way of the Wise, you can definitely do it, as I've shown you in this video. Maybe not versus all bosses, I don't know how this would go versus 2 bosses at once, like 2 kings or meeting on the other shore. If you can test it out and tell me how it goes, I would, but I'm not there yet and I can't be arsed. I'm having less and less will to play the game. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, post in comments, and see you soon.